Hello and welcome back to the Road to Good Cooking. A couple of months ago, my best friend Pat invited me to join her and her sister Trula B at this Indian restaurant she heard so much about. You know me and food, I politely accepted the invitation to try something new. When we walked into the door of that Indian restaurant, the aroma of curry, fennel, and so many more aromas hit my nose immediately. The smell of all those aromas was intoxicating. My mouth started to water, and I could not wait to take a look at the menu and start tasting what I was smelling. Since that day, I have been hooked on Indian food. A couple of days after my dinner date with my sister friends, I went on the hunt to find an Indian market. I knew I had to find the exotic spices of India. I found a quaint little Indian market not too far from where I lived. When I walked in, I was greeted by a very beautiful woman from India. I showed her my shopping list. Then she pointed me in the right direction, and of course, I went crazy buying authentic spices from India. I wanted to duplicate all those amazing Indian dishes I had experienced for the first time. Like I said, I'm hooked on Indian food, and once you try it, you will be hooked too. Today I'm making my version of tandoori chicken. This chicken dish is over the top with flavor that you are going to love. Trust me on that one. Now let's get started. Here's my tandoori ingredients. In this pan I've added the Fenugreek Seeds, Fennel, and 5 cloves. I'm going to toast my spices until they are fragrant, and that'll take about 3 minutes or so. And here's the ground coriander that I'll be using. I'm also going to use a kosher salt ground black pepper mix. I'm going to be using ground allspice and ground paprika, brown sugar. You can use honey if you don't have brown sugar, ground turmeric, a pinch of cayenne, and I've also added some red pepper flakes to this bowl. I'm going to be using 8 cloves of garlic and a small piece of fresh ginger that I'll be grating on my microplane here. I'm going to be using ground cardamom, which has a wonderful flavor to it, and some canola oil. And for my acids, I'll be using the juice from 1 lime and malt vinegar. Now you can use whatever type of vinegar you have on hand. I'm going to be using plain Greek yogurt and a whole package of chicken drumsticks. Now authentic tandoori chicken is made with boneless, skinless thighs. I don't have any in my freezer, so I'm going to use what I have on hand, which is drumsticks, and I like those better anyway. I'm roasting my spices over medium-high heat, and they've been roasting for about 2 minutes, and they're so fragrant. Now, at the end of the roasting time, they'll look the same, but you'll be able to tell by the smell that they are ready to take off the heat, and at which time I will take them off the heat and rest them on a plate and let them cool off. After 3 minutes roasting time, I removed my spices to a small plate, and I'm going to let them cool off before I put them into my plastic spice grinder. While they're cooling off, I will start preparing my other ingredients. going to cover my drumsticks with plastic wrap, and they will be going into the refrigerator. Now you can refrigerate your drumsticks anywhere from minimum of 4 hours to overnight. I like to marinate my drumsticks overnight for maximum flavor. My drumsticks have been marinating overnight, and what I'm doing here, I took a baking sheet and I covered it with aluminum foil, poured some canola oil in it, and I'm going to coat the whole pan with canola oil. Now I have my oven preheating to broil, and I'm going to place my chicken thighs on the baking sheet, and I want to make sure that they're coated with the marinade. I don't want it swimming in the marinade, but I want to make sure that each drumstick has a good amount of marinade on it. Now I'm going to broil my chicken drumsticks for about 5 or 10 minutes, or till they start to turn slightly brown on the top. Then I'm going to reduce the heat in my oven to 350, and I'm going to cook until my meat thermometer until my meat thermometer registers the temperature that I like my chicken at. And that's between 170 175. All right, so check out the next step. Just mix it till everything is well combined. Then I'm going to remove it from the fire, cover it up with a lid, and let it sit until my chicken's ready. While I was waiting for my chicken to finish roasting, I went out in the patio for happy hour, and as you can see from my thermometer, I went a little bit over the internal temperature, but that's okay because they're big pieces of chicken drumsticks and they can take a little extra roasting time. So I'm going to go in the house, take them out of the oven, let them rest, and while my chicken is resting, I'm going to come back out in the patio and finish up my happy hour. Then I'm going to go back in the house for dinner, and it's going to be good too. Oh my God, you ought to smell it way out here in the patio. It's just, the smell is just driving me insane. Can't wait. Oh my word. The seasoning, that marinade is just, it's off the charts good. The flavor of that fenugreek seasoning, the coriander, paprika, the turmeric, the minced garlic, the ginger, it all marries together beautifully. And as I'm sitting here eating this chicken, getting grease all over my microphone, I just can't even begin to tell you and describe the flavor, and the smell in my kitchen is absolutely heavenly. And then I dug into that rice, that herb rice pilaf with the peas. Oh, I get the background flavor of my homemade chicken broth, the roasted garlic, the chopped onions, the parsley, and the mint that I had garnishing my rice. I took a bite of that with it, and it just ties all those flavors together. This recipe will not disappoint. Sorry for smacking, but it is truly that good. Try it. You'll love it. Thanks for stopping by.